Today, we are talking about the Eagles, football, baby. And the great thing about this is that we're talking about more than football. We're talking about Philly. We're talking about pride, politics, and the power of presence. Now, the Eagles got invited to the White House yesterday, but half the squad didn't show up. Now, that's a big deal because it's a political statement. Some say it's about politics. It has to be about politics. Others say it's about protest. Well, it is about protest. It's a silent protest. So those two things go together. That's what we're talking about. But it's time that we talk about what it really means. When these men with their platforms choose silence or the spotlight. Now, I think that's a loaded question. I think that's a loaded setup, but we're going to talk about it. A divided visit. That's what it was. But it reflects the larger culture. Not everyone is aligned. Not the Eagles, not our society is aligned on what we should be doing. What is respect? What does representation even mean anymore? Some guys didn't go. That's their right. But what are we saying when we stay home? Those are the big questions. I want to answer these in the comments, and I'll be coming back to you with more. Now, we talk about who were the main people involved in this silent protest and who mattered. Basically, you could look at it the other way around is if these individuals did come, would the team have come or would it have mattered if the others didn't show up? So we got to talk about Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, right? Two upstanding guys, two guys who are family men who have shown us that they are not only excelling on the field, but they are stand-up guys off the field. Strong images. They are leaders in their community, and they are people that you can model yourself after as a young man. Now, that brings us to the heart of the question. What are they doing, and is what they're doing to be modeled? All right. Now, the way I feel, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I feel about these gentlemen and these men's decision to not go to the White House to celebrate the Eagles' Super Bowl win with President Donald Trump, right? I think that's the reason that they didn't go if we are leaving out the elephant in the room. But what I want to say is we have to ask ourselves, are we doing the right thing? Are we taking the right approach when it comes to uh, not being represented? And I am a proponent of representation because I do believe representation matters. I even believe representation matters in the face of you know ability or the face in the face of being the best. I think representation matters more than the outcome if the outcome can still be achieved. But it's not everything, but it does matter. So I wanted to set that up because I think that what we're finding in this event and these actions is an understanding of where the people are, right? And being in Philly and the city that we're in and how much support goes to the Eagles, especially to Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, I think they feel they are representative of people rather than being their own person, right? Can you feel it? Are you feeling that they're perhaps playing to the crowd, perhaps playing to the sponsors, the fan bases, or what's safe? Jalen seems to be the type of person that does what's safe. And he does everything in a very calculated way to get to the best result for him in the long run. And for him, if you think about it, the best result for him is what he did because at this time there really is no win in taking a stand by going. At some level, it would have been a non-event. He wouldn't have scored any points, and he wouldn't have been able to be seen as a person of the people, especially in Philadelphia. And that is understandable. I get it. But I think if we stay here, it will ring hollow in the future, right? The deeper issue is, are we making real statements or just rehearsing what sounds good on social media? Are we trying to not be dragged by our peers or by our fans on social media is the question. Because to not go to the president of the United States and to the White House when your team did, if you're the leader of that team, shouldn't you be there with your team? The team made a decision to go. And I understand that it was a vote. The team voted to go to represent themselves at the White House, right? To the nation as the winners of the National Football League's championship. And I think that as a leader, as the captain, you have to go with and do what the team wants to ultimately do. And that's the goal of any leader, not only to lead by example, but to also respond to the will of the people. So athletes today have been thrust into the spotlight of leaders. Of course, today's players are expected to do way more than play. They are activists, they are influencers, and they are new entrepreneurs. All right. So they are tasked with a lot, but that also means that a lot is expected of them. They ultimately risk losing their authenticity by trying to please everyone. And sometimes real leadership is doing what's unpopular, not what's expected. Philly is a city that respects authenticity. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be real. And the truth is, we can tell when you're playing it safe. Jalen, Saquon, we see you, but people want the truth, not just PR. So let's talk for real. Let's talk in the comments down below, and I'll be back with more commentary around this.